we go. Oh, yeah, that'll do. Yeah. This is a poem I wrote yesterday, which is made. And it's so you'll get where I'm going with this, I think. And it's after watching YouTube. It's called The Cry. A kitten curling up with a chick. A massive scary dog looking after a family of baby rabbits. A policeman helping ducks across the road. A deaf baby hearing for the first time. A deaf woman hearing her own voice for the first time. A foster child learning she's being adopted by her beloved foster carers. A piece of documentary footage about a man lovingly caring for his wife, who has entirely forgotten who he is. More footage of the same man paying tribute after her eventual death. Children being reunited with parents returning from serving in wars abroad. Animals being rescued from natural disasters. A man who saved children from Auschwitz, realising they are the audience that surrounds him on a TV programme. A child playing the violin at the funeral of his music teacher. Clips about children in Africa dying of preventable diseases. Clips of boy band members weeping while talking about watching children in Africa dying of preventable diseases. Children dying from rare diseases doing brave things. Parents paying tribute to those same children after their deaths. Athletes screwing up their own races to help fallen rivals. The New Zealand Parliament passing a bill for equal marriage rights in the House spontaneously joining in song. Mike Shinoda talking to the audience at the Reading Festival and the crowd all singing along. A Welsh male voice choir singing Abide With Me. Some guy with an obscure piece of fighting equipment accidentally hitting himself so hard in the knackers he steps back, trips over his skateboard. So, if you hadn't already know, there's the things that made me cry on YouTube, and there is a video somewhere of a guy that hits himself and then goes, and then he steps back and trips over. So it is the funniest thing ever, and just, yeah. But all of the other things are just so moving. Anyway, right. I sort of don't know what to do now, because I don't really have much more than that, but I could read you. I was just thinking about that thing about not being able to say the word ethical. And I'm definitely going to write some poems about this book, This Is Going to Hurt. Has anyone read this yet? This is just a brilliant book. There's just a bit that I reread to my mother earlier, and I just thought this was the funniest thing ever. And I'm just going to read it because it's just funny. Because hey, we can all share. So yeah, here we go. I just thought this was hilarious. And this is about like confusing words. In the doctor's mess, my friend Zach, currently working in orthopaedics, tells me that he always muddles the words shoulder and elbow in his mind and has to really concentrate before using either term. Before I even have time to process this and what it could mean for his next patient, an intensive care registrar joins in from the next sofa. Since childhood, she's always malapropped the words coma and cocoon. The more she tries to remember which is which, the more her mind convinces her she's got it the wrong way around. She shows us a piece of paper in her wallet that reads cocoon equals insect, coma equals patient. This, we hear, helps prevent the admittedly hilarious scenario of sitting down an inconsolable relative to break the news that their husband is in a cocoon. I mean, that's just genius. And there's lots of very funny bits in this. I mean, I have no reason to recommend this book other than it is just hilariously funny. Okay, what else should I do? Okay, I've got about a minute. Okay, let's just find something random. Yes. Okay, so I wrote a poem for a gig that I did about Arthur Ashe. And there's a quote on the internet that you might see, and it's one of those things that comes up on inspirational quotes, which I absolutely hate. But it's a start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And it's attributed to Arthur Ashe, but I can't find where he said that. And I went to the trouble of finding his books and reading his books to see if this was actually in his books. And it isn't in his books. So you think, who came up with this thing? And basically this poem is about me trying to find out that. It's called Start Where You Arthur. It came up love if we're talking tennis, unless you count the many references to other reference sites online. Like a snake consuming its own head, round and round on itself, endless like a tennis ball. I should probably point out he was a famous tennis player. If you don't know who Arthur Ashe is, look him up, he's brilliant. Watching him speak from long beyond the grave, he is dead as well, at some length, but never quite saying those exact words. On his licensing website, it's included in a list of quotes, not quotations, and these are unattributed to any of his works, unlike the many words taken from his 1992 press conference, where he revealed to the world his unfortunate affliction, having contracted AIDS from a blood transfusion. He spoke at length at UCLA, and he didn't say it then either. It's not in Amazon's searchable text of A Hard Road to Glory. I never got to read Off the Court, but I did contact a specialist in misattribution, from whom I still haven't received a reply. One day, all this will be labelled fake news, and I will get on with my life. But how can I? Context is everything. If Himmler had said, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, I wouldn't necessarily be keen to take that as my personal mantra, do you see? No game, set, or match for me. I start to wonder how this Chinese whisper came about, and I consider translation. He said, and if you've read his stuff, you'll know, a more long-winded version of essentially the same thing. And I wonder, from English to Swedish for Borg, or on to Romanian for Nastase, and back to Spanish for Vilas, maybe he got simplified somewhere beyond the baseline, like a tainted transfusion into language now forever wrong. There are worse things he could have said, and he wouldn't be the first to be misquoted. Let his achievements speak instead. Of all the fake quotations we have ever read, he won Wimbledon before it had a roof. And for that, if nothing else, we should know his truth. Thank you.